Well, welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm Christina Keller, your host. I'm here with the fabulously gifted and talented Nancy Barr, and you've had so many good words to say. We were talking about actually things in the world and light and how things, the spirit and how we want to strive to, and I think people do. Some people, they can't bear the light, I guess, but we'll talk about that in a minute before we wrap up. And I just real quickly wanted to give a couple shout outs here. Cherry Boom Boom is coming to the Tropicana, and tomorrow night is media night. I'm going to go and check that out. And it's, according to their press people, it's a universal love story. It's featuring rock classics. Well, I love rock and roll. I'm
me too.
rock and roller. Dancers, acrobatics, things of that nature. Tonight, Jennifer Roma's Sexy Show. She's having her 400th appearance tonight. Unfortunately, I can't attend, but I've had Jennifer on the show. She's a doll. I love her. Great shape, those girls. They're just like... she's amazing. So that's tonight, her show at the Westgate. It's her 400th show. You go, girl. John Fogerty is coming back, or he is back. He's at the Venetian he's got 9 limited engagements through October 9th. Which is so awesome but now I know I'm getting old because I doubt like Scotty, our engineer, would even know who he was. But I know I do. He was Fortunate Son, Creedence Clearwater, amazing stuff. I always like when I get a blast from the past like that. And speaking of which, Don Rickles, Mr. The Merchant of Venom and Mr. Warmth, he's going to be performing at the Orleans Showroom October 22nd and 23rd at 8 p.m. Tickets are only... $70, I think, which I always say to people now with all the parking fees and everything, it's cheap just to go to one show than to try to, dodge all over the strip and try to catch a couple of shows like that. Neil Diamond tribute artist Jay White will celebrate the 40th anniversary of Neil Diamond's first Las Vegas show, which I didn't know. Jay White's going to be at the Suncoast Showroom, but Neil Diamond's first performance, and Norm would probably remember this, was at the Aladdin Hotel in 1976. I was barely out of high school then. Good stuff, huh? There's really a whole bunch more on the website, www.vegasonlyentertainment.com. Please go there. Check out Jackie Brett's column because there's a ton of really nice free family stuff in October. The Vegas Valley Book Festival. There's a free little Oktoberfest. I always like throwing stuff out there for the kids. So, yeah, you really have to go to this site to get all the information. And I want to get back to my guest here because I was having so much fun. So, www.vegasonlyentertainment.com. Where were we?
Everywhere.
We were just having so much fun. I mean, it was so
everywhere.
Yeah, we were everywhere. And there's so much in the universe. I know one thing that always catches my attention is black holes. And quantum physics. When you brought up quantum physics, because my son is a mechanical engineer, and I watched him do his homework.
Math.
Everything is math. And like Matt would always say, math is precise, it's non-emotional, and it never fails. It's never wrong. So that is spirit, too. I mean, you could almost, if you wanted to put it into an allegorical, say somebody
Well,
who's...
it's motion. What's interesting with math, and it's not emotional, is motion moves the math. It's the emotion that is the power that moves things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's even more physics.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I don't think we can get away from it.
No, the whole universe, and the more
Not
they're
in this universe,
exploring.
anyway.
Yeah, right. Real quick, we've got several minutes here, but since we're talking about we're talking about being spiritual beings, actually, and
We're
those
vibration
who don't,
beings.
vibration beings. I've read an interesting article. Less and less people believe in God or Jesus or any kind of organized religion, that's because as we're expanding our voyage into the universe, they're going, well, where's heaven? And where is God? Because you were taught as a child and everything, heaven's up in the clouds, God's up there.
It's a white-haired being.
White-haired being, and then certain religions believe that all of them are going to have their own planet. I'm not going to throw out any aspersions here, which, although that does sound like a possibility, the more we are looking into the universe. Black holes, we brought that up, and you had an interesting comment on the black hole, that it turns into a white hole. Or
Well, yeah, it's the black hole is a centrifugal force. And it's got gravity and it pulls things in. I call it a shredder. I don't know what name anybody else, the scientists, call it, but I see, like in the center, it has the ability to shred or to take light and to take all that. It's like a vacuum that takes and cleans up everything in this light, and then it throws it out the back, which turns into a white hole. So,
which nobody has seen though physically. I mean, we don't have the equipment.
I think some have. I think there are people that know.
Really? And they're alive and on the planet?
I think so.
Oh, that would be.
There are a lot of things that are kept quiet, but
yes. Well, I like that.
But I mean, in a way, we do the same thing within ourselves. We're like these little black holes when we're stressed out or negative or whatever, and then something comes in, and then a piece of information or something happens, and then we sort of regurgitate it and throw it back out, and then change it, because the law of attraction is also one of the biggest laws. That's another whole thing. But law of attraction is huge, and we're a magnetic, we're magnets, and we're drawing stuff to us. And that's why the change, the need to change the way I think, it's not about changing my life into a negative thing. It's about ascension is not about becoming anything. It's really about subtraction. Just letting go of the things that don't work. Just let go of the things that don't work. Let go of the things that aren't true. Let that you realize that don't match you. Doesn't mean, and it's allowing everyone to do it in their own way, in their own timing, and
without harming others.
Without judging and criticizing, and expect everybody to be clones, because we're not.
No, that's true.
We're here. I mean, I think we came from many places.
That would be so interesting. I know when Star Wars and all that came out, I just love that whole science fiction.
Go to the bar scene and see how
I played that over and over and over again. I always said that was my favorite part in the whole movie, all these creatures sitting around.
A lot of it's very similar to The Matrix.
The first Matrix.
Movie, first Matrix, yeah.
They kind of lost me in, I think, the third one or something. But I got a little too confused. I wasn't... But the
computer programs,
Yeah, and the computer, that's certainly probably...
If you understand the computer, like Scott, if you understand the computer, then you're going to understand a lot of what's going on.
That's really fascinating. So it's almost like what came first. The chicken or the egg.
It was a programmer.
It was that was a good one. It was a programmer, wasn't it?
It was a programmer. It's the programmers that came first. And then we came after programming.
Right, I guess. And now the computers...
We're still programming.
Yeah, they're programming themselves, or something's going on with that.
Yeah.
But we were saying earlier, too, how the Internet's really changed the world. And now you've got me thinking there's a lot that I hadn't even thought about that we're just not even aware of. It is a bit invasive, though. Don't you think technology's gotten a little bit invasive? Or do you have an opinion on that?
I think, again, fire depends on how you use it. It can either burn up a town or it can light up a town. Electricity, like the atom, can either blow up a town or it can, and it's the same thing with internet. It's when you come from your heart and when you're in a space that you want well-being and you want it to last, because that's eternal rather than being short, and then destroyed. I think it will bring in people to knowledge and knowing, and I don't think there's a right or wrong. I don't believe right or wrong, good or bad. I believe it either works or it doesn't.
There is a lot. You're right. There's a lot of interesting knowledge out there about cancer, which is a sore subject with everybody, but I think people are being exposed to more positive ways to deal with the situation.
It'd be nice to deal with getting the ways that we already have to get rid of it.
Oh, I know. It's such a billion-dollar industry.
That gets me into another subject.
No, please, we could do a whole show on that.
But the chemistry, the chemicals, the air, why do people are getting more cancer?
Yeah, that was a question.
We're more sensitive, and we're more open and more vulnerable in a lot of ways.
And people can make themselves sick, really. I mean, just without even getting a
microbe or everything starts with mind.
Boy, I wish we had another whole hour. We're going to have to. We were talking. I'd love to have you come back on.
Sure, I'd love to.
And I would like all of you to tune back in when I invite Nancy back on, and we will fine-tune the program to where we can really, sit down and focus on certain areas that people might want to. Because I think a lot of people are starting, like you said, to kind of wake up and smell the coffee or the roses and a lot of this contentiousness.
They're out of suffering. They're tired of suffering.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I know I'm sick of it.
I want to walk out of that.
I can't take it. I don't like negativity. Time's up again, if you can believe that.
I can.
I think we were in a little white hole here or something, and it just sucked all the time up. But please tune in next week. Michael Jackson impersonator is going to be on the show, and don't forget about the Red Roof Inn.